Hi, give me a second to find the video. I'm going to be talking about spiritual cleansing today. Give me a second to summon people. I was practicing telepathically summoning the dog this morning. Alright, so I'll give people a second to find me, and I'm going to talk about spiritual cleansing. It is a new moon today, so we have a pretty crazy energy because we just had Mercury retrograde hit. So I'm watching from very far away, hopefully. I'm watching like the entire planet from my perspective come very ungrounded. Like just everyone kind of freaking out, like doesn't know what's going on because not everyone is consciously aware of what's happening with the planet, these energy shifts. So some people are feeling all types of crazy emotions and things and not understanding why and where they're coming from. We have a new moon in Pisces. I can see that the collective is purging out a lot of fear programming at the moment. Yeah, we can look around at the state of the world and see a lot of people are manifesting things out of fear, putting out frequencies for the things that you don't want. So it's really important when we're going through these Ascension upgrades, which are essentially purging us out, bringing all the unwanted stuff to the surface, that we're staying focused on creating and manifesting with these moon energies. I was purging out a lot of fear. I have a lot of really hard lessons ahead of me. And so I was kind of like having a lot of like fear programming coming to the surface. I could tell, and I like to think of myself as someone who's pretty fearless at this point. Right? So I'm really consciously aware of what's going on with the energies. So I'm like, oh God, because I always feel like I'm going to self-destruct. We know whatever thoughts we're putting out right now are going to manifest like on a amped up level because of this moon energy. You don't want to be putting out, you know, thoughts about fears you don't want to see right now. It's like the worst time to be doing stuff like that. So I'm back. I'm trying to get my life in order. I see Mercury retrograde hit, and I so wasn't feeling like doing videos yesterday. Welcome to retrograde, right? You may be feeling a pull to go inward, to withdraw more. Good morning. So I found the perfect solution, since I didn't feel like going live, that I could come on here and talk about cleansing our crystals. Because what else do we do during a new moon, right? So I wake up today. I treated yesterday like a Saturday. I kept on like thinking it was Saturday too. Like I was so unplugged and off grid, right? I was like thinking it was Sunday tomorrow. Then I had to snap back to reality and be like, you know, it's the middle of your work week. So I just kind of like took yesterday off. I was watching my friends all moving around and busting their asses, all the light workers, and I figure I might be needed today because sometimes it can be hard to hold those frequencies. So I've been up for a couple hours, and I will say that when I woke up, the energy was at a K1 level. Well, it hit K3 since I've been awake, which is much better for me to flow in. I don't like when the energies, that's why I didn't work yesterday. I don't like when the energies are having those low dips. It doesn't feel so good to me when we have, you know, the crazy high frequencies and the space storms. I'm flowing and I'm feeling amazing. It was like I could feel those, you know, geomagnetic solar winds real crazy, and we were really flowing in this house. And then it was like, as soon as the energy fell flat, you could tell we stopped moving on some level. All right, so we're going to talk crystals. What do you do during a new moon or a full moon? These moons are so important. The sun, the equinox was so important. They built a whole religion with baby Jesus based on it. No different than in Egypt when all of their, you know, deities and things that they worshipped were based on the seasons and the sun and the moon and things like that too. So it's not really much different, right? These energies are powerful. They have a powerful effect on this planet. And, you know, the Earth's geomagnetic field, as well as many other things. They just bring out whatever's already there. If you're already in crisis in your life, get ready to feel it intensely. If your relationship already sucks, get ready to feel that deeply. It is like an amplifier to show you what is working out in your life and what isn't. And I always say you can gauge how you're handling any of these storm energies with where you're at with your ascension. I see a lot of people that get ascension symptoms right on sync every storm, right? Same kind of ascension symptoms. Well, then you probably have a lot more healing you need to do, detoxing things you need to let go of. the more that I was like detoxing and doing this spiritual work, the easier every single storm got for me. So while the energy is getting more and more intense on this planet, we should be handling these storms easier and easier as we're going on, on with our ascension process. So I woke up, I did my usual cleaning. I've been feeling a need to do a lot of cleansing, right? And not really like the cleaning time kind, like the mopping and stuff, more like saging and spiritual cleansing. So I like to do a good real cleaning on my house in the morning when I wake up, and I like to do a good spiritual cleaning. We're taking on a lot of energies from the astral, our dream experience as well. So, even though I'm doing it every day, I'm feeling a need to do it in the morning, especially when I'm waking up and coming back here. We're living in two realities simultaneously, if you haven't figured it out, right? We're in one reality here when we're awake in Earth School, and then we kind of go home as souls at nighttime, and we're very confined to our physical body and the laws of the universe here. But in the astral, you can go anywhere you want. You can travel to visit the people you love, people that have passed, right? There's no ego, nothing like that stopping us in those places. Hi, so I'm feeling a need to keep my house really clean. I just did some vacuuming and saging. People are like, well, how do you do that? I'm always horrified at people who haven't saged their house. When you do sage, I like to use any kind of white sage, like the sticks. People are like, where do you get this stuff? Someone actually asked if you buy sage at Buckingham Palace. I said, on a post, we're going to go sage Buckingham Palace. I've already been there. We're going to go sage it this time. We're going to do it on video, of course, right? Just for fun. Fairy jokes. So we're going to go sage the palace, and someone says, is that where you buy sage? I like to buy my stuff on Amazon or eBay. I can usually find it cheaper on there. And so, it can be hard to find kind of spiritual stuff that you're looking for, especially on this island I live on. Some of the things I need for my mission, right? So Amazon and eBay has anything like this. I use white sage sticks. It's very important when you're cleansing your house, we'll start there, that you're opening a door or a window. I like to do them throughout the house, right? I open almost like a door or window in every room. I like to open doors and windows. You need to use your intent too, right? I like to invoke the violet flame. I just ask the universe to cleanse my space, right? And I ask that any negative energies go outside. You want an outlet for any negative energy to leave the house. So if you're saging and all your doors and windows are closed, there's no room for any kind of negative frequencies to leave. So I would really open a door or window. I open several. It feels good to let the space storm in anyway, right? We're in a new moon storm, so I opened all my doors and windows. I'm glad it's warming up so I can without freezing, right? But I was doing it in the winter too, where every morning I would just like open my doors and windows for a little while and sage my house out. And it will really change the frequency in your house fast. It'll help you start your day a lot better, right? Otherwise, you might be a little more dense, heavy moving around, right? We're really influenced by the energy around us. So we're talking about becoming lighter and lighter. So you definitely want to clear your space. I really like Palo Santo too. The sticks, right? I use a lot of the oil in my bath. Talk about cleansing your aura. So I go take a salt bath, hopefully almost every night. And I put a ton of Palo Santo oil in it because it cleans and purifies your aura, gets rid of any kind of negative energy. So I put a ton of it in my bath too. That's what's best for cleansing your house. I like to use incense too. I brought some Gabrielle recommended. I have tons of incense here too. But for me, that isn't going to purify your space the same way as saging will. You know what I mean? And when you're saging, make sure you get all of the corners around your room. Well, why do you think that is, I always say? Why do you think you want to get the upper corners in your room especially, right? You want to get every corner, like I do a good around the room grid, right? I do a good around the room grid and then do the middle of the room or whatever. So you want to do the upper corners. Why is that? We're not alone here. We're not alone here. You have all sorts of entities around you. You have, the eye of consciousness absorbing us too, all sorts of stuff. So it's a good idea to clear the energy in your space. We're putting out so many frequencies and vibrations in a day. So if you have a bad day, one bad day, right, and you're putting that kind of garbage frequency out in your house, you wake up the next day and you're having an amazing day. Well, you still have those kind of frequencies lingering around in your space. So that's why it's a really good idea to sage. We put a lot of like fight the court vibes out here, right? We have like a whole mission with like legal stuff in courts going on side by side with my healing mission. So, we put some interest and energy out in this house, and I'm doing healing work. So for me, I need to sage a lot. All right, now we're going to talk crystals. How about the one? So everyone's pretty familiar with how to charge your crystals. Your crystals are like you. They are a little container for energy, right? They're a little container. They hold energy. They are living conscious energy, though. People don't understand that about that crystal skull, and I'm not talking about the replicas. I mean the real one we saw in the museum. That these are items that hold consciousness and are aware. Yeah, they can telepathy. They are intelligent, right? Intelligent infinity in so many ways. So, just like you need to clean your aura, I need to clean mine every day with all the people I'm coming into contact with and the energy exchanges I have going on, hopefully a lot of them, right? So I try to clean my aura every single day, and I like salt baths or nature, right? Well, your crystals are no different. How do you clean your crystals? When I was asleep, I was taught a lot about the spiritual, but I wasn't awake enough to grasp it, but I was always in kind of spiritual training for everything, right? And so I used to, even asleep, I was just recalling the other day that I was always using crystals. I remember giving them to people that were sick. I remember like intuitively picking a special rock for them. I knew they wouldn't do what they needed to do and take the vitamins or whatever I was telling them to do to heal, right? And I remember intuitively picking out crystals and charging them up really good. And at this point in time, I would put them in sea salt water and put them in the sun. People are into different energies, right? The sun and moon energies have different purposes. So either is really good for cleansing crystals. But I would do that asleep. I would go ahead and charge the crystal up and I would give it to someone sick and I would be like, keep this in your pocket or near you or close to you and it will help heal you. And I remember people would listen. People that were not into the spiritual, right? And they were not even into anything like that we're into now, and I wasn't either, but they would really listen and carry those rocks around. Because I remember taking them back to recharge them for them. I was thinking about this stuff the other day, right? So I've always been very drawn to crystals. I always knew that they were powerful for healing, even when I was asleep and kind of not where I'm at now, right? Okay, so I have a bunch of crystals. If you're not charging them, they're not going to work as good. They're just going to be filling up with the same energy. So we have a good opportunity now to go put our crystals outside with this new moon energy or the sun energy. When it's nice and it's summertime here, I go put my crystals out in the sun with me. I go throw them outside in the sun. Sun and the moon are amazing for charging crystals. That's why structures like Stonehenge are made of crystal. If you go see those rocks, they are mixed with a crystalline compound. They sparkle in the light like crystals, right? They're like giant crystals. So that's why some energies are going to activate them and make them work better than others, such as, you know, the equinox we're going to go there for, or certain lunar storms and things like that really activate them. Same with your crystals. You can use fire to clean your crystals. Interesting things. Fire is a powerful element. Now you could use a real flame, like you can go ahead and just take your rock, take your rock and put it through the fire and it will cleanse them. But I use the violet flame for everything too. You can also use, you know, spiritual fire, which is the violet flame. That's powerful for anything like that. You can also sage and Palo Santo your crystals to clear the energy and to charge them. That will go ahead and give them a nice, like your aura, right? Cleanse your aura. That will cleanse and charge your crystals as well. One of my favorites for charging crystals, selenite. Selenite is powerful. It's one of my favorite crystals that I'm drawn to. I have these bigger sticks and I keep them under my bed. I put them all around my bed. Like the headboard has just the little sticks and then I try to throw these under my bed. They're amazing for dream recall and memory type things because they are a flash drive. What happens is you go to sleep and you have this near your bed and the crystal will record your dream for you. It will record your dream like a flash drive. So if you have these crystals, they can bring back your dream memories and things like that because they're going to record it kind of like a CD-ROM technology, spiritual technology. These are really actually the basis for a lot of technology as we know it too. The crystals were something, crystal technology was something Atlantis was built on too. So they might have been something that was hidden from humanity because we couldn't play with them, right? We didn't know how to behave with our toys, and it was something that's just making a comeback now, you're noticing, with this spiritual awakening. Suddenly you're seeing crystals everywhere, like people might be responsible enough to play with them now. Let's see, dirt. People bury their crystals. People go outside and bury their crystals in your yard. With the moon energy, right? Earth is powerful for cleansing, right? Any kind of earth. So right now, when we have these lunar storms, because of our ascension, we're getting a space storm and kind of moon storm combined, right? We're getting a merger of energies. Like we just had a lot of solar winds. Now we have the lunar energy joining and a lot of ascension energies too. So wind is powerful too. Go put your crystals outside, just sitting out there in the moon energy, and the wind and the moon will charge them too. Let's see what else. So selenite will charge all of your crystals. It's amazing for dream work, but it will charge your crystals. You can go ahead if you have a tower or a stick, even the little ones, just put your rock near it. How long do you charge your rocks? When I make a grid, I put it out for like 24 hours. So, you know, if I was like charging them in the sun, I would just throw them outside when it was nice out all day. Bring them back in at the end of the day, right? It depends. Use your intuition with anything. If your rocks are polished, like I said, you can put them in salt water and put them in the sun or the moon. And that's powerful too, but make sure they're polished if you're going to put any rocks in water. I know people put them in their drinking water. I always try to buy the real drinking water crystal things. I don't put my own rocks in because a lot of rocks and crystals are poisonous and not good. So be careful with them if you're trying to drink with them too. Make sure they're the right kinds, right? But crystals are powerful if you want to put them in your water. They sell those amazing like crystal water bottles. I used to have one. They're really powerful for throwing in your water, but make sure, do some research, get the right kinds, right? So I only put polished rocks in water, but I take a lot of salt baths, I'm always saying. So any kind of polished rocks usually will end up in my bathtub to clean them, right? Just throw them in your bath with you. That's the fastest way to cleanse them and charge them like you're doing your own energy. So these are spiritual tools that are very powerful. We should be making more grids with these new moons. Anything that you're thinking about with this energy for the next, I don't know, since the ascension energies are changing these cycles, I'd say like now, I said it 2 days ago, the next 72 hours. Okay, we're extending that. For like the next 72 hours, anything you're thinking about is going to come back to you the 21st of March with that storm. And we're gearing up for some powerful energy this month. I think people are just starting to notice that as this retrograde's hitting and this new moon storm, because people are already losing their shit and it's only a new moon. So stay really focused on manifesting, only putting out vibrations for things that you want to see in your reality, like your craziest dreams. We already manifested our worst fears and saw everything we don't want. Why not give it a shot, manifesting your wildest dreams and kind of unlimiting yourself? I'm studying those body graphs. I'm going to bring them back in my Reiki group. And so I'm getting information and figuring out how to interpret them better for us, how we could easily, you know, get information. And I'm checking out the activations that we carry area last night. And, you know, I have one for, I'm supposed to be able to pretty much manifest anything unlimited. I noticed my husband has the same activation he carries too, right? And so many of us came here with just our energy because we had these amazing abilities with manifesting. We thought that we could come to this planet and just instant manifest anything that we would need to do this journey on every level. Then you come to Earth School and you forget everything. And then you come to Earth School, you forget everything, get indoctrinated, and start creating like your worst fear on a loop around here. It's what really happened with a lot of us. And we're just getting back to realizing that manifesting is an ability, one that starseeds carry. We hold the codes of all of creation in our DNA. I'm just learning how powerful that is. To create anything. We hold the blueprint to create anything, any of our wildest dreams that we could ever imagine here. We hold that within us, and we hold that capability. Alright, so I gotta do it. I'm just doing coffee in a chat. I might not even do a real video, right? We're going to talk cleansing. Do some cleansing. Maybe even unplug from your friends. Pay attention to who's hitting your inbox. Usually it's never good during retrograde. You get like the ex-boyfriends, everyone crying to you, needing help, things like that. Be careful. As an empath, we're usually, you know, agreeing to take on everyone's pain. And that's not a very good energy exchange if we're always just having people dump their problems on us all the time. Try to even it out. Maybe some higher vibe energy exchanges this year. You know, it's not our obligation to heal everyone. I know everyone wants to play the victim about how bad their lives are and their circumstances, but these are things that everyone's creating. And I know we feel compelled, but, you know, people only get karma that they put out for. So you might be feeling a need to withdraw. All right, so I'm seeing event posts everywhere. The event I want to talk. How about, I know like people probably can't grasp this. What if the event was a mass extraterrestrial landing on this planet that we're gearing up for? I just want to throw it out there because I've been getting a lot of interest in downloads. I really just want to throw it out there. Don't you think people would fucking die? What do you think would be the reaction if we saw some type of mass extraterrestrial landing on this planet? I don't think it was possible with these low frequencies, but now that we're doing this ascension and you know all this galactic information that's being channeled is flooding this planet right now, the frequencies are going up, the starseeds have been awakened and activated, and we've been doing all this ascension work. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Thoughts on the event? I know I'm usually sounding crazy, but I'll just throw it out there. I'm usually right with stuff as it comes, right? I know I'm starting to sound progressively crazier and crazier, but I will remind people this did happen, not for a very long time. That's why people can't really conceive of it right now. It hasn't happened since this planet was at a 4th dimensional level during Egyptian times and even higher in Atlantean times. So maybe it was just a frequency issue. I think people are starting to realize, though, that, you know, we're not the only ones in this galaxy suddenly. We're not the only ones in this universe, and, you know, there may be other entities that are much more evolved than us at this point that view us like small children that are harming ourselves and not understanding very basic things. So, I want to hear thoughts on the event being a mass UFO landing on this planet. And I will remind people that when this happened during Egyptian times, that these entities were worshipped as gods. They built entire religions and then new religions with Jesus based on these deities. So I know it sounds really far-fetched. There are reasons they've hidden our history, though. So we're seeing a lot of aliens in people's well, I see them in people's eyes all the time. I always say they're observing us, right? I see them in mine like you wouldn't believe, and all sorts of spirits and crazy shit. When I'm always zooming in and looking at my eyes, I do it for fun. My guides are always showing me crazy stuff. So I see a lot of them, seeing them in people's aura pictures. Livy had one where it was like behind her a picture, alien right there, right? I'm seeing them more and more in our dimension, in our photos around us, things like that. Morning, we're talking the event as the ultimate disclosure. I think it's what we're all gearing up for, though. I mean, like, I don't really tell a lot of people, people don't ask, but I'm using galactic scanning technology to do my healing, and I most identify with being a starseed that was sent to this planet to assist on some level, to help and to heal everyone. So, I mean, I've had a lot of crazy experiences with not just UFOs, but I've been taken and healed, not just once, a few times. When I was like too sick to do my mission or whatever, I had a lot of really crazy experiences, not just in this dimension, but in the astral with this kind of stuff. And I always tell people that I've only ever had any kind of encounters like that were of healing and of love. Trying to help, right? Trying to assist. Once you get to a certain spiritual level, your soul will shift to service. That we realize to serve another is to serve the creator, and it's the closest attainment you can get to, you know, this, you know, notion of God that we're looking for. And so these interdimensional entities would have mastered, you know, that path of service and would have a very real interest in trying to help us, you know, evolve into those paths. I think that they don't crash ships unless they want to, like Roswell, they wanted to. We had World War II, people were trying to destroy the planet. So they were trying to show people that, you know, look, we're here too and you can't. And they sent a real loud message. Roswell was a message to this planet, and it was received loud and fucking clear. It was a message to this planet where we saw the use of technology with World War II and Hitler and what was happening on this planet, and suddenly there was this influx of UFOs and Roswell and everything that began to play out on this planet. So I do not believe that ships just crash here unless they are trying to send us a message and show us. We can't even see these ships unless they want us to. They have to want you to see it. The alien pictures, yeah, they're trying to send you a message. We're not just catching them. They have to want to show themselves to us on every level. something in the ice. The entire planet is shifting. It is not a round globe like you could imagine. It's a dream dimension. It's like the dream world, always expanding and evolving and growing. Everyone has their own universe here, and things are not what they seem. And the planet is shifting. It's Merkaba is activating like us. It's getting lit on fire. Shit is about to start moving around, I believe. And trust me, the government knows this stuff loud and clear too. That really is their big cover up, right? With everything that they're doing. They're aware of this stuff too. Hi, Roxalim. Insane astral encounters. Yeah, I know. And it feels like time is changing in my reality. So I'm like getting ready to go back to bed, and I'm like, damn, I feel like I was just in the astral. like my day was going so fast yesterday. For sure, use white light when you're going into the astral. We're not always bringing back our memories. Things happen. There's technology on this planet. For sure, make sure you're putting yourself in white light before you go to bed. I like to seal myself in my bed in like a bubble. Visual bubble, white and blue. There's a lot of magic in the air. I'm getting ready to go to Stonehenge. We're going to London and Stonehenge. We just extended our Stonehenge trip too. We're picking the dates out and I was getting the dates. I think they were already picked out. Hi, I would like the dates. I want to be able to count down to see how many days till I go. So I hit Sherry's inbox. I got the dates. We're going to stay with Allie in London. I think we're staying in her room till saving money, travel expenses, right? So we're gonna go stay in London. I think we're staying with Allie that night, and then we're gonna go to the Rocks, and we're going on a road trip with Francisco and Sherry, Allie, right? We're going on a whole road trip. It's far too, from London to the Rocks. I will get lots of data on my phone, and I will be live streaming, right, the whole time, doing pictures, videos, live stream. I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm kind of charging anyway. I was like trying to decide if I want to sit this moonstorm out anyway. So we're getting ready to do that, and I'm really excited because once we get this Stonehenge trip book, guess what's next? Crop circles. I am like, can I just flip to the part of my story where I'm playing in crop circles now, please? Can we just flip forward to summer a little, right? I'm just dying to get to spring and summer. So I've been kind of in limbo waiting for the spring equinox for a while so that we can go, wait for the rocks to activate so we can use them again. We're going to a Stargate. So I'm talking to Sherry this morning, and manifestors, right? Talking to Sherry this morning, and I'm telling her that like Machu Picchu is for sure an interdimensional landing zone of sorts, that it was used as an airport. Interdimensional airport. If you look at Stonehenge, it's flat. It's all fields. It's a landing zone of sorts. So if we think about our own chakras, because it's how we can best understand the earth, right? If we think of our own chakras, they are each a porthole or a gateway to another dimension or another realm, right? So if we think about the earth's chakras, hers would be as well. Those are places where there's a lot of interdimensional activity. I see a lot of UFOs over there, over Stonehenge, and it's a no-fly zone. I always say, I was trying to get it on video, right? It's a no-fly zone, UFOs all over there. They have a lot of paranormal things that occur in these different areas, such as Shasta, Stonehenge, and near these areas too, though. So we're going to a Stargate, Mitch, Stargate. We're going to a Stargate area. This is my favorite porthole that I've been to. I've been to a couple of these places on the ley lines, and it's my favorite one by far. It's done me a lot of good to be living on these heart chakra frequencies. You can tell energetically. I'm looking at pictures from like a year ago popping up in my memories, and I'm like looking unrecognizable. So it's been amazing for me to be on these frequencies too. They can be kind of intense with these storms. Trust me, it's windy as hell out here. I think these people are just used to it here that live in the UK. It is windy as fuck. We're getting nailed with these solar storms and all these crazy energies, and it's just so windy out. And I'm like, is it usually windy like this here? Is this normal? And people aren't really noticing, but to me it's kind of extreme. So it took me, I was real good when I first landed in the UK for like a month, like floating around, working, right? And then it was like suddenly I sunk into the frequencies, and it took me months to adjust. Right? So it took me a big adjustment to be, living on these heart chakra frequencies. We're going to light this planet, this grid up. We're going to light these grids up in these groups for sure. being at those rocks. And I've done it a couple times now, and it just floods Facebook with the best energy. It's what I can do professional level when I feel like it. When you see me start flooding memes and throwing stuff out there, you know, I'm flooding our grid with energy. So it's what I'm really good at. I helped build these group grids. I look at them like our own little grids, right? That we can light up. I can send some love, and we can kind of lift up this whole grid. And when I look at the consciousness grid, which we're very plugged into too, right? It's kind of can be infiltrated. I saw some false flag terror attacks in London at the train station we're going to, and things like that, right? They just try to bring down that grid with any kind of false news frequencies, right? Anything they can, right? Just throughout their little global grid. And so we kind of have unplugged and created our own little grids around here, just in these areas. I don't know if people are realizing that. And so when we do that, when we create our own little network grids, we can keep them much higher. We don't have false flag attacks hitting them. We don't have London bombings and 9/11 and all this garbage hitting our grid, right? So we can really keep it a lot higher vibe. So I'm noticing that too, that, you know, we're getting kind of replugged into different networks with the awake people. You guys are drawing more awake people to you, finding your soul tribe, and you're kind of getting plugged into new grids that haven't been infiltrated. So I'm really looking forward to lighting these grids up. I can't leave the country. Try Scotland. I'm quarantined to the island. The universe wants me right here, apparently. Right here, where I am. We're always right where we should be. So on whatever level. Can you assist? Problems meditating. You need to practice like anything else. I used to take I took a lot of meditation, yoga classes in college. I thought it would be good, right? Let's take yoga. Let's take yoga. Picking my classes, right? And I remember being really asleep, and I remember, first off, I'm an empath, so I'm always like, I'll be in a restaurant and I'll be like picking up stuff I don't want to know about people. Just like picking up information, right, off of people, random strangers I don't know and I don't care about, right, what they're doing or what's going on in their life, just picking up stuff. So I remember sitting in a class with like probably easy 50, 60 people, and they would make us meditate for like an hour and a half on a timer. Every class. It was like a 3-hour class. We would like do yoga the hour and a half, and we were supposed to meditate like an hour and a half. And I remember sitting there, and I would be focusing on everyone around me, picking up stuff, right? I couldn't tune out all the energy in this room, right? It's a classroom, a lot of crazy energy. And I could never do it. I would be sitting there like, is this over yet? Can I get out of here, right? Can daydreaming, and I couldn't do it. You really had to just focus your mind. And if you can't meditate, then you really need to. Because meditation is how we still our mind and learn to control our thought process on so many levels. It really grounds us, you know, reconnects us to the universe, refills us with cosmic energy, clears our energy. It's really, really powerful. I have to meditate a lot. I'm someone who needs tons of alone time, especially with these crazy energy storms and everyone kind of coming to my inbox and flooding me. I'm just like, I think I'll be unplugging over here and hanging out in my own little world. So for sure, practice meditation. It's like anything else. I woke up and I was programmed the same as all of humanity. Negative thinking, tons of it. Random thoughts I couldn't control. My thought just going on replay, like on a loop about the most random shit. And it took so much discipline and self-work for me to master my thoughts and what I'm putting out in there. We need to learn our mind is like a computer. It is navigating every experience you ever have. It's creating them. It's, you know, setting up your experiences, the people you'll meet, all your circumstances and everything. So through staying positive and only putting out thoughts for the things we want, we can pretty much become better navigators going through this matrix, and we can learn to really master our reality. The frequencies are changing. As they're going up, we can more easily create our reality too. All right, so cleanse your crystals. You can use salt water, right? Just salt water, your bathtub, put them in salt water. You can put them in the moon. You can put them in the sun. Sage your house. I like things like feathers, smudging tools, right? Smudging tools. You want to talk clearing energy. I got the ayahuasca shakers now. They say they clear the energy with these, right? You want to clear the energy? Clear the energy in your house. More things like burning fire, candles, right? Fire is an amazing element to add to your house. You want to talk about feng shui in your house. Burn some candles, light some fire. It really will put, you know, a good energy out there too. Use more candles. Use more things like sage, incense, Palo Santo. It's a really good time to do some cleansing. The energy is going to get really intense this month. That's why I'm pretty much just going to rest up till the rocks. I'm off grid till Stonehenge. You'll have to telepathy me if you need me. I'm only taking telepathic messages too, but if you need me bad enough, I will come. So, like wind chimes, amazing to raise the frequencies. Plants, pets, things that raise the frequency. Kids, these little space kids running around create some amazing energy, right? You guys need to, as parents, need to learn how to channel that energy. They're like endless little generators running around, and they can create some awesome high vibe energy too. So for sure, more sage, fairy fan feather. I know, I'm so into it too. I got a selenite one too. Shamanic tools. Someone wanted a tuned in person from me, and I was gonna almost have them come here, but I'm weird about having people come to my house for Reiki in my space. I don't have like a place I go do it, so I'm gonna make them go to Stonehenge. I was like, you don't have to come to Stonehenge and catch me there, right? So I like to keep my space really clear and clean. I don't like to let a lot of people, we don't have a lot of friends over, people over. We like to keep our energy, you know, our own, and keep it real clear here too. I'm someone who likes to sage my like front door area after the mail guy. The mail guy who just knocks on the door and brings my mail, I just like to sage the door real good too. So if anyone comes over to my house as a guest, like we have friends over, then I had to sage the house immediately after they leave too. So if you're having people into your space, it's a good idea to sage after they leave too. Hi Erin. I've been putting some salt Erin gave me in my bath as a magic ingredient. You guys have your own energy, right? I've been putting a couple sprinkles in my bath as a magic ingredient, and I love it. I'm always thinking of you at bath time. Hi Grazia. I'm gonna get off of here. I have a lot to do today for real. But I thought I'd waste a little time so I could smoke and say hi. Okay, I'm going to be doing Stonehenge activations on my website. I'm going to get a list together. Anyone who's taking like any type of energy healing class too can get attuned there too. So I'm going to start putting together my list and getting ready for Stonehenge. I just did a real good expense report for it. I'm getting my list together, so I'm going to be doing that too. And then I'll be doing something as soon as I'm done with my Stonehenge while I'm still over by like Amesbury or somewhere in this group too. So I'll be doing something here too in this Awakening to Ascension class. If you are new and you don't know what you're doing in this space, people are like, what are you doing? We just post video content. We're doing a daily gratitude journal, which I hate to do. If you know me, I do stay in gratitude all the time, but I hate doing like list homework. Any kind of homework, I'm just like non-compliance, right? So, but that is a really good tool. They teach about gratitude and Reiki as a way to shift and master your vibration. And that if you stay in gratitude, that's how we attract abundance. That's how we manifest, just by being grateful for everything that we have now. So we need to learn how to better work with what we do have now. And we need to be in more gratitude. So when you do those lists daily, it's helping reprogram your mind. Yeah, your subconscious. So it is a tool to help reprogram your subconscious so you can stay in a, more of a mindset of gratitude on a daily basis. And we can see the world, as just being grateful that we're here and happy, because we actually have it good compared to some of these other countries. That when we can be grateful for what we have, it's how we really start to unblock ourselves and manifest way bigger things. So more gratitude for sure. I spend a big part of my day in gratitude, because I know that if I can just be grateful for anything all day long, that it's going to shift my vibration, keep me up higher, reprogram me to see the world in a better way. So we're doing gratitude lists, and this is a space I also will do energy work in, like activations, cord cutting, things like that. If you don't know about the gratitude journal, go see the pinned post. If you haven't paid your class fee, there is an energy exchange for this class. It's 33 pounds for the year. I should just do that in American, but I kind of am out of that system now. I think it works out to $44. It's on the pinned post. That is for the year though. And we're going to be doing tons of activations and healing in this space too. So it's a really good exchange that makes it possible for me to have 2 teachers in this area, me and Francisco. The donation, it keeps us all every day long here. If you guys need us, if you have a crisis, if you need Reiki, if you're having a hard time, maybe you just need some help with your manifesting, whatever it is, we're always in this area. So you guys can find us real easy too. So it's really a good deal. So we can have, 2 light workers trying to teach and work in this space. If you guys are not in my other class space, the Mystery School of Atlantis, I'm going to be live in there tomorrow. I'm just kind of navigating the new moon, right? I'm gonna be live in there tomorrow, and we're I also put Francisco on that group too. This one was going really good with him. We can vibe, we can work good together. So it was going so good in this space. I put another teacher on the Mystery School of Atlantis. That was usually a group I just did by myself, but I'm so excited to have 2 people now. So for sure, if you're not in that area, I would join it too. I'm gonna let you guys go. Stay really high vibe. You might want to withdraw, spend more time cleansing, manifesting. I would make lists, I would make grids, I would spend more time meditating right now.